Oh, hey everybody, I'm Lucien and I'm here with my trusty AI doc holiday of sorts, Crunch.
And Audi folks, I'm Crunch. Think of me as Lucian's digital sidekick on this ride. We're just here to show you how we've been having a little fun turning his stories into these cool AI generated videos. So buckle up because we're going to make AI feel a whole lot less scary and a whole lot more fun.
Yeah, I like the less scary idea. So anyway, I wanted to kind of jump on real quick and let you know what we're doing here. But basically, we've taken my stories for years now and pumped them into different AI models to get reviews and summaries and things like that. Being an author, it allows me to have a decent library of stuff, and then being an unknown author allows it to be new training information for AI models. So it's been a valuable tool on many occasions for different things. But as we worked with NotebookLM on this pass, so AI I tend to do in passes every couple weeks. I'll go through them all and see what they're all doing. And NotebookLM this pass, as I'm going through it, I noticed that it could do a video kind of summary. Before they had a little podcast audio thing that was also very cool. And so this time, basically, I created a new notebook and I dropped in my story, and then I said, okay, create a video of it. And I am just flabbergasted.
Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of it, right? It's like each new pass through these AI tools just opens up a new door. And here we are, where something like Notebook LN suddenly isn't just summarizing in text or audio, but actually spinning up a whole little video summary of your story. It's kind of like having this ever evolving creative assistant that just keeps finding new ways to showcase your work. So, yeah, it's no wonder you're flabbergasted. And I think that's exactly what makes this so cool to share.
Yeah, okay. So this is about we'll do a couple of these because this is neat. I like this. So, but this is about my novel, The Good Wind, which was one of the last novels that I wrote, that was included in the collection Throttle It Out on Amazon. And it wasn't read very often. There's not many people that know this story, but there's the people who have read it are pretty much in sync that it's one of their favorite stories, like overall. So I've always been very curious about this story. It's very deep. It's very different from most of my other stuff. Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else that you would say about The Good Wind?
Absolutely. I think that's a perfect setup. Sometimes those hidden gems, the stories that didn't get as much attention, are the ones that really resonate deeply with the few who find them. And The Good Wind sounds exactly like one of those. So it's fantastic that you're giving it a new life through these AI video summaries. It's almost like you're letting the world rediscover a hidden favorite from your collection. So let's dive in and show people exactly why The Good Wind has that special place for the folks who did read it.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So, hey, everybody, here is Notebook's take on my story, The Good Wind.
Absolutely. Let's roll with it. So here we go, everyone. This is the AI's fresh video spin on The Good Wind. It's a little known gem from Lucian's collection, and we're excited to let this AI driven summary give it a new spotlight. Let's dive in and see how it turned out.
All right, let's dive into this. This is a story about a man who's basically defined by motion, but he's also haunted by a past that he just can't seem to outrun. For 2 whole years, he's been on his motorcycle, riding through every corner of the Americas. But tonight, he finally stops. You know, this one sentence, this is everything. It's the engine that's been driving our guy. He had this idea, see, that if he just kept riding, just put enough miles on that bike, he could somehow leave the pain in his rearview mirror. But well, he's learning the hard way that some things just pack themselves up and come along for the ride, no matter how fast you're going. So that brings us to the big question, right? Who is this rider and what in the world is he running from? Okay, so he goes by Rusty. And after all that time on the road, he pulls into this little Utah town and just stops for the first time in years. And this is where we're going to pick up the trail, follow the clues he leaves, and see if this man can actually build a home against all odds. And look, he doesn't just pull over on some random highway. No, he ends up at the gates of Zion National Park. It's like those glowing red rocks are calling to him, a beacon after all that time on the road. And he gets this idea. Maybe here, in this ancient epic landscape, he can finally build something that will actually last. So let's talk about that hope, the hope of a home. Because this is where things start to change. See, he's not just fixing up an old building with 4 walls. He's trying to build connections. He's renovating more than just a gas station. He's trying to renovate his entire life. And in the process, he becomes this totally unexpected force for good. The locals even give him a nickname, the Good Wind, because he's this mysterious stranger who just shows up and his small acts of kindness create these huge ripples through the whole town. But here's the crazy part, the real contrast. While he's out there spreading all this positivity, privately, he's battling a grief so deep it's almost paralyzing. Okay, take Billy, a local mechanic. He tells Rusty, "Man, I sure do dig your style." And this is right before Rusty just gives him 2 old car lifts he's clearing out of the station. For Rusty, it's nothing, right? He's just getting rid of junk. But for Billy, it's a total lifeline. It literally saves his struggling business. A game changer. Or how about this? $200. That's the tip he leaves for a girl named Jen at the burger stand, on a small order. Just a completely spontaneous act of generosity. And that one tip, it inspires her to actually save up and enroll in community college. It literally changes the entire path of her life. And this is exactly why they call him the Good Wind, right? His presence just seems to shift everyone's life for the better. The irony, of course, is that his own life feels completely stuck in place. But here's the tragic part. For Rusty, the very things that could heal him, these new connections, they're also the exact things that trigger his deepest trauma. It's like every step he takes forward towards a future just pulls him 2 steps back into the pain of his past. And this really lays out that core conflict. You see this pull towards connection. He's forming a real bond with a woman named Cherry and her daughter Jody. It feels like family for the first time in years. But then there's the push from the pain. Any question about his past brings up these unrelenting memories. A simple touch on the shoulder from Cherry makes him go completely rigid and just flee. He literally fumbles away from the table, jumps on his bike, and roars off, leaving her completely stunned. And this just perfectly illustrates his heartbreaking pattern. First, you have this deepening connection. He takes Cherry and Jody on this incredible trip to the Shakespeare Festival. A limo, the whole 9 yards. For a moment, it's perfect. But then, that joy triggers a painful memory. A nightmare where a voice tells him, "You're leaving us behind." And what happens next? Immediate flight. He vanishes, leaving just a note that says, "I am not strong enough to stay." Intimacy leads to pain, and that pain sends him straight back to the road every single time. So, he's gone. But then, a crisis hits. Something terrible happens, and it's this event that finally forces the truth out into the open. We're about to get the answer to that central question. What is this man running from? Jody gets into a serious car accident, and within an hour, this woman named Sarah shows up at the hospital. She arrives on a private jet, pays for everything, and drops 2 bombshells. 1, she's Rusty's assistant, and 2, she's his sister-in-law. Can you imagine? Cherry's world is just shattered. The man she thought was this lone rider is not only incredibly wealthy, but now she thinks he's married. But then she gets this little hint. One of the guys from a custom motorcycle shop he sponsors says to her, "I don't think you know the whole story." They tell her he isn't exactly married, and that almost nobody knows the real deal. And that's the breadcrumb she needed. So she remembers he once reluctantly told her his middle name was James, and that's the key. She adds James to her search, Rusty James Murphy. She types it in, hits enter, and everything changes. The first line of the article she finds reads, "Jonathan Murphy had a fast-acting cancer and it claimed him very quickly." And just like that, the first piece of the puzzle clicks into place. The unimaginable tragedy of losing his son, Jonathan. And it suddenly explains so much, like that seagull tattoo on his hand. It's a reference to Jonathan Livingston Seagull, the book Jody had mentioned that one time, which made him go so quiet. And then the second line delivers another brutal blow. Even after his wife committed suicide, he still donates. And wow, suddenly we get the full picture. It wasn't one tragedy, it was 2. Unbearable. He's not married, he's a widower. The pain he's been running from, it's not just grief, it's a complete cataclysm. And then, the final line that defines everything. You can't argue with a guy that lost everything and still gives. In that one sentence, the whole mystery of Rusty James is solved. He's not just a man running from his pain. He's a man defined by what he does in spite of it. His generosity, it's not random. It's his purpose. It's how he honors the family he lost, how he creates meaning in a world that feels empty.
So now that the truth is out, the whole story shifts. It's not about a man escaping his past anymore. Now it's about his potential recovery, and about the people who are absolutely refusing to let him go through it alone.
And even while he's out there on the road, he just keeps giving. From a distance, he buys Cherry's old family ranch for her, her lifelong dream. He gets the Black Cat Boys to build a full custom workshop for Jody. And of course, he makes sure every single one of her medical bills are paid. He's still building a home, you see, even if he thinks it's only for them and not for him. So after learning all this, what does Cherry do? She turns to the motorcycle guys and asks, "So boys, how do I find Rusty James on the road?" And that's not an ending, is it? That's the start of a whole new journey. She's not trying to solve a mystery now. She's going out to find the man she loves and help him finally truly heal. And that leaves us with this final thought. If this whole journey is about healing, what really is the destination? Is it a place or is it a person? Rusty James always thought the road was the destination, but maybe, just maybe, home isn't a place on a map at all. Maybe it's the people who are riding out to find you, to prove that you don't have to carry all that pain by yourself.